Okay, time to predict the 11 that Mikel Arteta will go with against Burnley. Rotated, somewhat surprising against Sheffield United. With all due respect to Burnley, there's every chance he treats in a very similar way. A lot of games have been played since the return of the last international break. We beat Sheffield United 5-0 fairly comprehensively with quite a few, well, very comprehensively. Didn't get out of second gear. A lot of changes made there. You could argue the 2-0 win against Sevilla was pretty comfortable as well. Arsenal want to be building on this home form momentum that they've got at the moment. So what will the 11 be? Of course, to try and predict 11, I'll go get some ideas. I want to talk to some other presenters who are going to help me build the team by hearing what they're going to go with. Let's have a little listen now. And we're going to start with Turkish. Turkish, the 11 you want to see this weekend. Interesting to see how much you'd rotate. We start with the goalkeeper. And actually, by the way, before we go into that, there is an exclusive interview with David Raya's agent out on the AFTV website right now. Go have a little look at that. Will his client keep his place in your 11?
Yeah, he will.
David Raya keeps it, fine.
I'm just basing it off of what Arteta's done as well.
Yeah.
I thought Ramsdale would have got a chance a couple of times in between now and the last international break. It hasn't happened, so I assume Raya will start. And you know what? I'm tired of the argument now. Whoever it's going to be, I just want improved performances from either.
Yeah, I agree completely. Okay, we're moving to the back four then. Now, Tomiyasu had discomfort, according to Mikel Arteta. At the time of recording, we don't know much more. So what changes would you make to the 11? Would you rotate? Would you do anything different?
Listen, players have had discomfort on the pitch and still come out for the second half or still come back on it and play it until their legs fall off or until the referee blows the whistle.
Yeah.
If Tomiyasu came off at half time and the significant importance that he has to the team now, when you look at how solid he is defensively in comparison to Zinchenko, I'd actually leave him out of this one because I feel like we're going to dominate, and Burnley are not really a low block team. They should allow us space, and that's where Zinchenko should thrive, inverting in.
They've got some tricky players though. They've got some flair in that team, Burnley.
They do. Yeah. But look at them this season. They haven't really set themselves up for the first season in the Premier League, which on one hand I'm hearing, long term this is the way to do it, even if they have to go back down to come back up. The year in, year out style of play, approach from company will finally get Burnley in the Prem safely and more around mid-table. That's the long-term vision they have. But for the first season back in the league, the results speak for themselves. They haven't been great. Joint bottom of the league with Sheffield United. And look what we've done to Sheffield United 2 weeks ago. Okay, so Zini in at left back. Are you doing anything different to that for other than that? No, Gabriel, Saliba and White. All good.
Okay, fair enough. We're going to midfield. Jorginho good against Sevilla. What was the game before that? Newcastle. Of course, he started and played 90 minutes there.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of football. He seems to be handling it well. Would you do anything differently in that position?
Bearing in mind that I think Arteta really wants to move forward with like a 1-6-2-8 type of midfield. I think this is a game to try it in. He tried it against Southampton last year and Bournemouth with Vieira and Odegaard next to each other. Both games didn't really turn out as we would have expected and hoped with the Southampton one. But I think if that's what he wants to do, this is a game to trial it in. So for me, it'd be Rice the 6, and it'd be Vieira and Havertz as the 8s.
Very attacking.
10s, yeah. I mean, it's Burnley at home.
It is. I mean, you swap Jorginho for Rice, and I know that's not a like for like. Declan Rice is not only different in profile, but obviously giving us an extreme level right now. That's similar to the midfield that went out against West Ham in the Cup.
It is, but I also think Zinchenko playing accommodates for the loss of Jorginho in the middle because essentially when Zinchenko comes in, he's doing similar to what Jorginho does in breaking the line. So I think we're all right there. And Jorginho's played a hell of a lot of minutes. It seems like he's got more importance in the squad now. So I guess with Partey and the doubts about whether he'll return before the new year, Jorginho's someone we got to keep quite fresh as well.
Okay, and your front three?
Front three, Martinelli, Saka. Oh, no. Martinelli and Reece Nelson.
Cool.
Look, Saka for me, we know he's robust. We know he gets kicked to death and we know he more often than not he'll play the next game, week in, week out. I just think we don't need him against Burnley, and with an international break coming up where England are pretty much guaranteed, their Euro 2024 qualification, I think leave him out of the Burnley game, nudge England to leave him out there, 2 more weeks rest, because that, end of November lead into December period is mad. When you look at the fixtures week in, week out, it's a mad schedule. So we're going to need Saka fit, raring to go, and off the back of one of his best performances this season against Sevilla at the Emirates, I think leave him out of this one. Reece should be able to do a job. Give him some hope as well. And Saka, Southgate, leave him out, mate.
Fair enough. And the rest, and Martinelli.
Martinelli.
And Trossard?
Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, I'd stick with Trossard. I think he's the best option we have behind Jesus.
Yeah.
If it was to be Eddie starting, I'm not sure what his situation is like with the injury, or Havertz up top. I still think we get the job done.
Yeah.
I just think Trossard is the one that brings the most creativity to the forward line.
Completely agree. All right, let's hear Cecil's 11. And I'm here with a very smiley Cecil.
Hi, James.
You all right?
Yeah, no, I'm happy. Stop raining. Right, let's go into the 11 that I want to see.
Yes.
Starting with Ramsdale in goal. Firstly,
Okay.
congratulations. Got called up again to England. I've just checked that as well. So big up Aaron Ramsdale. Nothing on David Raya because he was fine. He was fine in Champions League. Obviously,
It's easy to be fine when the other team have one shot with an XG value of 0.02. Like, I'm not having a go. Like, Raya played some nice passes, but like, yeah, the defence are doing well to ensure he has no work to do.
agreed. And that's why I just want to rotate for this. I think if Ramsdale can't play against, I said this against I think it's Sheffield United. If he can't play against them, then there should be questions asked. I think the same with Burnley. I think he should come in as well. I want him to feel, again, this is going to my nice side of, I just want him to feel included still in Arsenal Football Club. And I know he's going to be thinking about his career, being called up to England. He's got that, but I know he's been thinking further ahead. You know, he needs to have some involvement, and I hope Mikel Arteta does see that. Give Raya a little break. Why not? Going right back, Ben White with the black hair. Glad he changed his hair. Does it change his performance? It's still, I think, trying to reach what we saw of last season. I still think he's a little bit not there. I don't know what that's due to, but I want to see him start in this game. I still think he's the most comfortable right back we have at the club currently. So Ben White there, centre back pairing. Don't need to give him a break. Sorry,
Yeah.
but Saliba and Gabriel. I keep saying it. I think
Agreed.
Keep
Keep playing them.
Yeah, keep playing them. They the best partnership people say in the league. I think Saliba is the best the best defender in the world right now. I think he's tremendous. I watch him so closely now as well, and I try and look for mistakes. I normally watch strikers, but I've been watching Saliba so much because I'm so sure that I believe he's the best right now in the world, and he's phenomenal. But I just wanted to give him his props. Gabriel as well, alongside him, solid. Best partnership. Left back, I'm going to go Zinchenko. Not going to go Tomiyasu. I want to see, not saying that Tomiyasu doesn't give us free-flowing football, but I want to see Zinchenko do the inverted stuff, get forward, get on the ball. I think when he came in recently as well, he has been good. I know there was a dip in form in a few games before, but of recent, seems like we're seeing that, old Zinchenko. I feel like he can unlock Burnley. I'm sure they're going to probably sit. They'll play their football, but I think they'll also sit deep as well. And I think Zinchenko adds the attack. So that's my back five. Going into the midfield, Jorginho.
Yeah, keeps his place.
Keeps his place.
3 games in a week.
Yeah, and also
He's handling it.
yeah, and me and Robbie, we spoke after the game, the Sevilla game, and he said Jorginho's actually been all right.
He's been good.
All right. Like,
It's been good. We gave him a sectional tactical insight deserved. Like, he's playing well.
oh well, apologies, I missed that, but
The time of recording's not out, so I don't know why you apologise.
lovely.
Go check out Tactical Insight.
Check it out, definitely. Big up James and Graham, but yeah, Jorginho, he's been
Graham wasn't on it. Carry on.
progress. He's been really good, Georgie. Not really good, but he's been good. He's been fine. He wasn't being brought in to be our main starting centre midfielder, but he's been fine. So him and Declan Rice. So Declan Rice is in front of him. I want him to play the box to box role. Do you know what it is, right? You see with Declan, again, I could talk amazingly about Declan Rice for ages. I could shower him with compliments. He's so good at driving the ball forward.
Yeah,
And when he
is.
opens up those legs and he strides with it and he just pushes through, I love that sounds. It's gonna sound crazy,
No,
isn't
no,
it?
you're
It is
good.
what it is. But I want him to shoot. And I think when he plays the 6 sometimes, he does all the defensive stuff really well. His timing, never makes a foul. He intercepts really well. But I do want him to be a bit more further up so he can, release the ball and have some shots. You're smirking at me.
No,
I'm
no.
gonna get clipped. I don't mind. It is.
I know, you're good.
I'm on vibes. In our midfield as well, I mentioned it last time. I want Fabio Vieira in there. The closest to Martin Odegaard, in my opinion, when it comes to technical ability. I've really done a spiel about this in the last minute 11, but yeah, Fabio Vieira. It'd be nice to see him. Hopefully he reached some of the form that we saw of past. Okay, front three. I didn't actually get to this point before I came on this, so I'm just gonna go with. And no, I actually generally believe this.
Power through.
I generally believe this. Bukayo Saka on the right, standard. Martinelli on the left. By the way, those two phenomenal in the game midweek. But Bukayo Saka, because, and I think people might be like, Cecil, I thought you want to rest him, and we know we need to rest him. But please, Arsenal, hear me out here. Be cheeky. Play him against Burnley. Saka, you get kicked. Go down. Mikel, take him off. Press conference after. Bakayo, he's feeling pain. You know, fucking hell, guys. We need to rest. He needs a rest.
Yeah. It's a great accent.
Don't play for England. Sorry, I said it. Rest him, bring him back, fully fit, give him a proper rest. I know he had one before, didn't come back in shining glory, but
That was it. We were trying to remember the other day what it was he said.
Shining glory.
Yeah.
But hopefully he can have more of a rest by starting, going down a little bit. Don't go into the international duty. Give him a break. So that's what I wanted to do. Hopefully Arteta, you're listening. And then up front, Trossard. I've actually criticised him when he starts, that he doesn't start very well for Arsenal. He never does. He's very good off the bench, but doesn't, he's never good when he's in the starting 11. But proved me wrong against a Sevilla side that you mentioned. Really, they weren't really up for it. So can you take too much from it? Probably not. But maybe against Burnley. Again, not a great opposition. But listen, he's on form. Keep him in.
Fair enough. All right, let's predict what Arteta's going to go with. Always difficult to know what Mikel Arteta's going to go with. Let's have a go. David Raya keeps his place. I think that's the one thing we can be certain of. Look, he's made him his number one. The debate and all this stuff is just really amongst the fans and the media. And look, I can understand that. I can completely understand that, because we're talking about merit as well. We're talking about a goalkeeper in Ramsey who's done so much for us. But David Raya is clearly going to be played into form by Mikel Arteta. So what he wants to do, if he is making mistakes, he wants to keep playing him till he gets those out of him. So David Raya will keep his place, in my opinion, in Mikel Arteta's 11. Ben White, William Saliba, and then Zinchenko at left back. So you're wondering about that second centre-back. Jakub Kiwior, I think, is going to come in for this game. He came against Sheffield United, I thought was brilliant. I thought looked totally composed. We didn't lose anything in transition. We didn't lose anything defensively. If any of you are thinking, well, you're removing Gabriel and Tomiyasu, who absolutely rocks, to bring in Zinchenko and Kiwior, we did that against Sheffield United. He also looked good, I thought, away at West Ham, where everyone else really kind of crumbled and suffered. We looked a little bit of a mess defensively, and especially in that second half. I thought Kiwior actually stood up to it. So Kiwior, I think, is going to start in this game, and deservedly so. Whenever I see him, I like him. And also, if you're going to break down a team, Kiwior's neat on the ball, and he's going to add something going forward. Now, this gets interesting, because I think Turkish has a point. I think he's got a point in that he might move Rice to the 6. He did that against Sheffield United. But I don't want to just completely copy what he did in that 11, assuming he's going to do the same for this one. I actually think Jorginho might keep his place, and Rice will go alongside him in the box-to-box. He's been tucking in a lot. We analysed that on Tactical Insight. Go have a little watch. Second time I've plugged that on this show, but can you blame me? And then I think Havertz keeps his place. I would love it to be Fabio Vieira. I really would. Could it be Vieira, Rice, Havertz? Maybe. But I think he'll go with Jorginho's experience and his ability to play the kind of passes he did against Sevilla, for example, to break down a team. And Rice is really enjoying himself in that box-to-box role, that number 8, all-action midfielder position. And I think he'll stick with Havertz. I'd love to see Vieira come in, but I think we'll stick with Havertz. And then the front 3, look, if Eddie Nketiah is fit, there's every chance he gets him back in that 11, but I can't see how Arteta could possibly watch what Trossard did in midweek against Sevilla and what he got out of the wingers and think, yeah, let's play around with that. Trossard hasn't started many games. I think we checked earlier, it was only 2 in the league. Give him a little bit of a run. He deserves it. Trossard up top, Martin on the left, Saka on the right, because if he's been called up for England, which we now know he has been, Saka, if he's all right, he's going to go. So you may as well actually play him, see if he's all right. And if he's not, you give him the 2 weeks break and he doesn't go to camp, like Cecil mentioned, like he said he wants to happen. So there we go. That's my 11. Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Kiwior, Zinchenko, Havertz, Rice, Jorginho, with Saka, Trossard and Martinelli. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and do download the AFTV Plus app, which is completely free to do. Hit the 11 selector, build your 11s, and let us know on social media what you want to see from Arsenal this weekend. Catch you all in a bit.